Hot dog, we are live. Hello, Mr. Ed. Happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Man, look, and I know this could be a great one today. And we've already got a couple of folks already in. Christine from all the way from Australia. We got Robert, Robert George from the UK. So man, oh, and Bob Walker from, I think Bob is from North Carolina. So good morning to all of y'all, and thank y'all so much for coming on in this morning. Wow, there's 8 people here already. Super nice, 8 people, and and I know everybody talks about like and subscribe and thumbs up. So yeah, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up for me this morning. Annette, you are here early. Happy 4th of July. Wild Bill, good morning to you. Jonathan Flint from the Pumpkin Center. Jonathan, that's just up the road. Golly. Casey, I know you're from Australia as well. John J., good morning. Oh, thank you so much, John. Thank you very much. Darren Sherrod, good morning. Fibbert Ford, love to watch you anytime. Stay blessed. Thank you, brother. Geraldine Johnson, I guess how you are. Good morning. Michael Stein, good morning. Larry Gooden, good morning from Detroit. John Wilson, good morning, John. Sarah's Happy Hodge. Happy 4th to you too, Sarah. Bohemia Bees, Jason, what are you doing, man? Tony, look at you, Tony. Tony and I just saw each other just a couple of weeks ago in Texas. Hello, Tony. Foxtrot, hello from Ohio. James Ertz from Minnesota. Bijou Tuo, good morning, Mr. Ed. Happy 4th to you. Lynn Hughes, golly, this is incredible. You have a great 4th. From Ozark, Alabama. James Sims, good morning. Rick, good morning, Rick. Rick, thanks for all your blessings, dude. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Laura Gordon, happy 4th. Praise the Lord. Amen to that. Damon Gray, happy 4th from New York City. Sourwood Beach Bee Farm. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Rodney, good morning. S, good morning from Georgia. Clay Burnham, happy 4th to you as well. Mike's favorite. 2 morning, Mr. Ed. Good morning to you. Wild Bill. Jeff, can you tell me about the quilt? Oh, we're going to talk about the quilt. That's a special gift from my sweetie Mona. Stuffy. Hey, Mr. Ed from North Carolina. Stuffy. Mark Mann, good morning from Oklahoma. Casey, oh, wow, check out the quilt. Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Woo, she's something else. Randy Dixon, good morning from Mill Hall, Pennsylvania. Johanne Klopper from Bradford, South Africa. Wow, thank you so much. Miss Madam Denchia Bridell, good morning. Happy Independence Day. Good morning to you too. Tony, and see you next Saturday. Wow, you gonna be up there too? Man, you're just a traveling guy, ain't you, Tony? Yeah, and John Hill be up there. I'm really looking forward to being up there. And that's in Quincy, Illinois. We'll be there next week, and I'll be talking about that in a little while. Julie Sneed, good morning to you. Jean Hassenbauer, good morning, and God bless from Texas. Thank you very much, Jean. Thank you very much. Red Horse, happy 4th, Northwest Ohio. Dennis Barney, happy 4th, peoples. James Seedler, good morning, miss. Why do you call you Mr. Ed? All right, so that's like the most asked question I ever get. Why do they call me Mr. Ed if my name is Jeff Harchup? Hey, Sarah. John Wilson, God bless America for sure, from Wakeman, Ohio. Lindsay Audrus, wow, from Pennsylvania. David Roenfeld from Sydney, another Aussie guy. So why do they call me Mr. Ed? Well, that story originates back when I started working at the post office back in 1982. And what happened, there was just a Sam 45, hello. What happened was it was just like a tradition. Seisha M. Hey, Mr. Ed, good morning. That whoever comes into the post office, Merlin, look at you, brother. Good to see you, Larry. That when you go in there, you get a nickname. And they don't even know who you are. They just give you a nickname. Dan, good morning. Sugar Daddy's Honey and Bee Removal, West Point, Georgia. Wow. You do a lot of removals, Dan? I bet you do. And so when I walked in there, my of course my last name is Horchoff. So even when I was in Susie Oswald from South Carolina. Good morning, Susie. and and so see, being my name is Horchoff, and when I was in high school, the extrapolation horse trough. So they used to call me in high school trough. That was my nickname in high school. And when I got to the post office, good morning, Winnie, from Oklahoma. MG from down under, another Aussie. Golly, what time is it in Australia right now, please? So with my name being Horchoff, and that, and then with these big old snags that I had, and that natural inclination of me to talk, the Mr. Ed just got to be the name, and I love Gene was named Hamburger. Midnight, golly, what are you Aussie people doing up so late? So I got the name Mr. Ed, and that name was with me my entire 27 years as a mailman. That's all I ever was called. And I love being called Mr. Ed. I love being called Mr. Ed at work because there was like a difference between my real life Jeff and Mr. Ed. So I love being called Mr. Ed. And everybody at the post office called me Mr. Ed. So when I go home, they call me Jeff. So I had a distinct separation between work and home. So it worked really good. And when I started my YouTube channel, I mean, I grew to love the name so much. I said, man, I want to be called. Look at that, Jason. Thank you so much. Golly, thank you, Jason. Um, uh, Jason, you're gonna have to ask me a question now. Um, I got to love the name so much when I started the YouTube channel. I didn't want to be called just Jeff, so I said Mr. Ed, and that's what it's been, and that's what it's going to be. I'll probably put on my tombstone Mr. Ed in there, not even my real name, because that's more people know me now by Mr. Ed than my real name Jeff. So that's it. Tony, remember that most people don't remember the TV show. It was a great. Yeah, I guess most people don't because most of y'all aren't as old as me. I'm 66, but Mr. Ed was a very very popular TV show about the talking horse with Wilbur. Tar Heel Beekeeper. Hello, hello. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Man, it's already 94 people out there. Oh, 24 thumbs up. Man, we are looking good. That's not bad. 24 thumbs up. Hey, hit that thumbs up button. Let's see if we can get this thing to get, I don't know, at least a couple hundred before we go off air. And I plan on staying up here for a while. I don't have anything to do this morning. Look who's here, 628 Dirt Rooster. I would have thought you were 55 years at the most. Yeah, right, sure. And I went to his 50th birthday party, so he knows how old I am. So Randy and I did a cutout with JP and Shawi, and of course uh, Charlie was there as well. And none of us have posted that video yet. So I know I'm going to have to get that video posted. It's going to be a really. Oh, Clay, thank you so much. Annette, oh, golly, thank y'all very much. Man, it's so generous of you people to do that for me. I mean, I'm already so appreciative and humbled by the fact that so many people watch my bee wrangling adventures. I mean, I love sharing. It's just part of what I like doing, and it just warms my heart to know that so many people out there are following along. So thank you all so much, all you subscribers and viewers. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Jason. a Tacoma. Good morning from McKinney, Texas. Yeah, so thank y'all very much for all you do for me by watching the channel and watching the videos. And golly, thank y'all very much. And for the gifts this morning, thank you all so much for doing it. Barry Vernon, good morning from Cincinnati. Been following you for 5 years. Wow, Gene, that's you're an old timer there. Paul Brown, enjoy your content and you look younger. Foxtrot. Oh, thank you. Wilbur, I'll have you know, in 4 years in high school, I never lost a debate. Mr. Ed. And in 7 years of marriage, you've never won. My favorite line from the show. That is I used to watch the Mr. Ed show all the time as well. Sarah Duncan, hugs and great. The way south, first year. Oh, thank y'all very much. Thank y'all so much for those kind words. And it always amazes me. Look at that cipher. I'm gonna see you real soon, huh? I'll see you next week, right, Bill? Um, it's just amazed me that people say that they've learned so much from watching my videos, and I really don't. I, I'm not. I'm not trying to teach. I just show what I do. Mike Brewster. My wife said you look good for 66. I'm just showing what I do and how much fun I'm doing what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And I just want to share that with you. So if there's look at that Okie Rob from Oklahoma. He's like one of my oldest longtime viewers. And Okie, I can't believe you are up watching me this morning. Don't you have some vegetables to plant this morning? Great to hear from you, Okie. And thank you so much for checking in this morning. Glenn's Natural Honey. Good morning from Fort Wayne. Thanks for sharing your bee adventures. Oh man, I do love sharing my adventures. Sarah's Happy Hives. Yeah, so I think oh, thank you, Susie. Thank you so much. Oh, I love honey too. I actually learned a wee bit more from Randy, but here you go. Yeah, I learned a lot more from Randy too. In fact, I learned a lot of cutouts from watching Randy back in my early days. I have plenty of work to do, but this is much better. Yeah, I agree with you, Bob. So just finished feeding and picking veggies. Hey, Okie, I gotta ask you. So, Paul, thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. God bless you, man. Um, you haven't posted a bee video in so long. And Randy and I used to always talk about, you always had that one tree that the swarms always went into it. And uh, so it's always like you were redoing that same swarm over and over. You get your bucket on your track and lift it up and grab that swarm. So Okie, you're gonna have to post another swarm capture for us, just to remind us of good old times. Look at that, man. We got people, the Dirt Rooster's here, Okie Rob is here, Jason is from Bohemia Bees. Yeah. Bug Farmer, Steve is here. God, Steve, look, we did our harvest and it was so pitiful. Uh, don't worry, next year you'll get your invitation. But I'll talk about the harvest in a little bit. But golly, it was terrible. Look at that, we're up to 67 thumbs up. Wait, 68 with 119 people. That's not bad. That's good. Let's see if we can get that number keep on going. The ways out. Wow, T Breezy took a break from work. Thank you. Red Horse. Who is winning in the swarm competition? Well, the last at my count, I think we're tied. I think we're both at 20 or 21. Randy got a couple of late ones. I thought I went up on him, but he came right back. It's like a 1-2 punch, and he came right back with it. Good morning from Central Florida, Lee Cruz. My first swarm area doing well. Great, great. No ants, no hive beetles, and that's really good. Casey, did you get the swarm under the swarm box in the fountain video? No, so that swarm, we're gonna go back in the fall and get that one. They want to wait. Last two swarms were in a cedar tree about 2 feet off the ground. You still probably use the tractor to get them, huh, Okie? Been out buying some bee equipment this morning. All right. Look at you, Bob. Get out of here, man. Man, thanks, Bob. Gee whiz. You know I must be desperate, huh? Thank you, Bob. $100, Bob. Are you crazy? Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much. Man, I'm gonna be able to buy some firecrackers now, huh? Man, these are firecrackers going off right now. Look at that. Julio's here. Terrell Chowden. Tell everyone how you got caught by a catfish. Yeah, me and Julio, when we were checking the traps the other day, out it. I wonder if I can pull that picture up on my phone. Let me see if I can find that picture, Julio, and show everybody that picture of the catfish that that caught me after I caught the catfish. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. It might take me a second. There it is. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Here you go. I don't know if this is going to work. So Julio and I went fishing a week or so ago, and and we were fishing the pond in one of our out yards at the St. Michael's yard, and that catfish right there went and I was fishing with a Rapala, and that catfish wiggled and threw that hook. Yep. Right into my finger. Yeah, that was a real adventure. Yeah, that one. In fact, so here's all that's left of the wound in the thumb, and you can't even see what's in my finger. So it was all good. But yeah, that was an experience to pull that treble hook out of the finger, and I had to go get a tetanus shot and everything. Enjoy nature 76. Hello, hello from Jamaica. Wow, we. uh, Boise from Sweden. Wow, we for 5 years. Thank you so much, Boise. Thank you very much from Sweden. So, how many hives do you have over there, Boise? Because I know, man, there's all kind of regulations keeping bees up in Sweden, the Netherlands, all that. There's a lot of regulations, even catching swarms. I mean, they have to. I don't know because I've read about that. Hermes Gecko, good morning and happy 4th from Buffalo, New York. Oh, good morning to you as well. Glad you received them. Hope you got you. So I like that people get to talk to other people through the comments. So that's awesome. 90 thumbs up. Looking good, folks. Thank y'all very much. Stuntman Pete is in the room. Where is he? Where's Pete? Greetings from Arkansas. What part of Arkansas, Gordon? Man, I used to go to Arkansas every year. In fact, um, us retired guys, 5 of us, we 20 highs. Wow, that's awesome. We'd go to Arkansas every year for our Arkansas adventure. We'd go around the White River, around we let's see, what is it by I can't remember the Heber, not Heber Springs. It'll come to me. Michael Tandry, hello from Coventry, Vermont. From I'm trying to think of the dam right there, right on the White River. Foxtrot. Get that wife to help you. And that way y'all both can do that when you come home off the road. Okie Rob. Bull shows. Thank you, Okie. Yeah, that's it. Bull shows. That's where we used to always go. From Indiana. Happy 4th. Thank you. Steve Pierce from Trent Hills, Ontario. Wow, hey, you're kind of isn't that around where what's that guy that beekeeper up there? What's his famous name up there? Subiaco, right? Oh man, I used to go to Subiaco for years and years. I'd go up there, and in fact, I helped them build their choir where the monks stay in. I did the acoustics on the interior of their room where they met. Oh man, Subiaco. I spent many, many, many weeks up in Subiaco. Great, great place, especially that part of Arkansas, right between Fort Smith and Little Rock. Great place. So what? Let's see what else. I'm that hive on the lion's face was one of the coolest hives I've seen yet. Why would they choose that? Don't ask me why they do that. That tiny little hole in the cover. I think they chewed through that cover. I think is what they did. So that's how they did that. Mike Brewster, happy Independence Day. I'm glad you're here too, Mike. Thank you very much. Um, I guess I really want to talk about the quilt before we do anything. And let me get out of the way and see if I can get a little bit closer. I'm gonna have to move my computer up there. Let's see. So this quilt right here, let's see. I think it's best I just put it back down. That quilt, another Aussie, A.S. Whitehead. That quilt, Mona started for me right when in January, right before we went to Hive Life 2023. And so what I wanted, the whole idea behind the quilt was I love my logo, which is Studio B Productions, and so she had in the past made me a monogram plaque, and that used to be on the wall behind me. She came in here and she redid the whole office. So thank you, Mona. And she started on this quilt, like I said, in January, and my idea was I wanted to when I went to Hive Life, I wanted to get a whole bunch of YouTubers' name and get them to sign the little um, she calls them pixies right here. These little pixies. This one right here, here's Cayman's right here, Hive Life 23, and so I probably had about 20 or 25 guys, ladies signed the sales, and then with it was her design. She came up with she wanted to put them all around the logo, and that's what she did. And she worked on this quilt literally for 2 months. Worked on that quilt, and the design of it, the laying out of it, the embroidering of it, and she really she made it even look like 3D with the wings up here, the crown, everything just it pops out. So it's like really great, and so definitely I wanted to put it in the office right here, so that way when we do live broadcasts, when I do them, that's the prominent thing right there. And thanks all the YouTube guys and gals that signed those little cells for me. And I still have some empty spaces on there for other YouTubers as well, just so that when you go to Hive Life, everybody's signing everything. So I did a little something different and did this one. Franciosis Boodham from New Jersey. I know I messed your name up terrible, Franciosis. I love your videos. You and the rooster made me discover a new fascinating world. I cannot thank you enough. Well, you already had the desire. We just were the guys that brought it out. So look at that, Dr. Bruce. Wow, my wife said you can get up close, please. Well, I tried it already. I can't really hold that computer really good, so I'm sorry, Dr. Bruce. But I'm gonna have to get a close-up picture of this thing because she did a super job on it, didn't she? She really did. David Lewis, hello. Franco Farms barbecue. Oh man! Now I'm going to be having me some barbecue today. In fact, I'm having lunch today with the monks. So on holidays they have special lunches, and so I got invited to go eat with the monks today. So I'll at 12 o'clock I'll be going down there and eating some barbecue with the monks. I can hardly wait. So what kind of barbecue do you do? All right, so let's see. That's about with the quilt, and I really should say more about the quilt. Um, she she she'll probably yell at me saying I didn't say enough, but sorry, baby. But I'm kind of nervous right here talking about your work. She right now she's working on I think oh man, she's probably working on 4 quilts right now. She's always working on quilts, always working on quilts. she's doing a couple of commission pieces right now. But I come up to the Abbey and work here, and Mona stays at the house and quilts all day long. That's what she does. Steve Billow, I've got bees eating out of a hummingbird feeder. Boy, they'll do that when there's a dearth. Is this the start of a dearth? Oh, yes. No, there's not enough nectar for them, so they're going to the easiest source of it, and that's your hummingbird feeder. The shrimp on a barbecue. Now, I like that. Isn't that shrimp on the barbie? Yeah, that's right. Yes, Miss Mona Hartroff did. You will have to show us in another video. I will, I promise. Nashia McDaniel, hello. Going to the So what is everybody doing today? If they should be doing something because it's a 4th of July. You ought to be doing something other than watching me this morning. David Lewis got a smoker for Memorial Day weekend, so I'm up learning. All right, yeah, I'll be doing some grilling on my pit boss this afternoon. We're gonna be doing some chicken, that's for sure. You heard that, right, Mona? We're gonna be doing chicken tonight. John Jay from that's Wisconsin, I think. Jennifer Haas, hey Jennifer, from Central Georgia. Bill's got some ribs going on right now. He's marinating them right now. So Casey, there's a lady one of the ladies that Mona watches. Her name is Kate, and I think she's from Australia. Really, some great stuff that lady does. Dr. Bruce, no much here. So how's the bees over there, Dr. Bruce? How many hives you got? 20, 30? Sleeping being midnight here. Well, you need to get back to sleep, AS, because tomorrow morning will be another day with lots to do. Mike's favorite. Unfortunately, working today. Well, I hope you're getting some overtime for that, Mike. Wits Wild Outdoor Adventures. Good morning from Maryland. Micah Est, does peppermint oil help control hive beetles? I've heard it does. Some people drop the little peppermint candies in there, and it does. It seems to work. I know it certainly can't hurt it. So try it. I'm about 2 a day drive to Ian Stepler's farm. Wow. Yeah, so I hope Ian might be watching us today because they don't celebrate the 4th up there. So Ian, if you're watching, stop on and tell me something. Beekeeping in paradise. What paradise is that? The Philippines. All right. Easy reader in Georgia. It's raining. Good for you. Kodiak bees. Good morning, Lee. So hey Lee, I don't want to put you on a pressure or anything, but you know what your buddy just did? He dropped a big Ben Franklin on me on Independence Day. That's right. So thanks, Bob. Hey, and we're up to 112 thumbs up. So come on, let's see if we can get that 123 people watching and 112 thumbs up. So that's really good. Vicks Vapor works good. I don't know. Only thing I know that works for beetles is having bees that are strong enough to take care of them, because that's how I do. Pundo Cientra. Good morning from Northwest Tennessee. Good morning. Christy Vibach. Good morning from Northern Indiana. Thank you, Christy. David Lewis. Oh, Lee, that wasn't trying to egg you on, Lee. All right, so Lee, now, thanks, Lee. Golly. So Bob and Lee, I don't even know what their podcast is called, but they do a podcast. Lee, tell me what the podcast that you and Bob do. So they're trying to one up each other. So Lee couldn't let Bob get ahead, so we had to drop a Benny on me as well. Thank you, Lee. Lee, thanks, guys. Come on, so Lee, tell me what's the podcast called? Doug B. from Central Illinois. Good morning. Good morning. From Singapore. Golly, Black Wolf reads. Good morning from Singapore. What time is it over there, Black Wolf? Lee, I'm waiting for your response. John J. Oh man, thanks so much, John J. Thank you very much. Thank God, you guys, you guys are too much, and gals. Thank you very much. I'm gonna start tearing up. Stop doing that. Let's see. There it is. TNL Tuesday Night Live. Thank you, Lee. So every Tuesday night, Bob and Lee get on there. Now Lee is in. He's only about 40 miles from me. He's in Denham Springs, and Bob is in North Carolina. But they do a podcast together. Great. They get. I've been on it. How many times I've been on it? I think twice. I've been on there. And in fact, when we were at Hive Life, I was with them over there. So great little podcast on Tuesday night for anybody that y'all want to go check out their little podcast. You'll have a good time over there. Merlin, I'm going to have to step it up. Oh, no, you're not, brother. No, you're not. Don Bearden from Leeds, Alabama. That's where you're from. I knew you were from Alabama, Don. ECP, good morning. Tell Mona to start a well, Casey, Mona wants to start a YouTube channel. She's been on me to do it, and we're talking about it. So we may start her up one because man, she just needs to display her talent with the way she does it. I think since Mona and I've been together, which is we're going on 2-3 years now, she's probably made for me, she's probably done 3 or 4 quilts, and for our beds, she's probably done 5 or 6 of them. So she is very, very busy and beautiful works. I mean, beautiful works. And she likes to keep the house real cold, and I like it warm. So she puts extra heavy quilt on my side of the bed. So she likes to keep me warm when I'm sleeping. Melvin Lance from Northern Michigan. Hello, Melvin. Jay Payne from Delanga, Georgia. Sourwood trees. Man, I've tasted some of that sourwood honey. Very good honey. But speaking of honey, even though we didn't get much of it, our honey this year is absolutely the best tasting honey Abbey Honey has ever produced. Now I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but we'll so it's 10:32 p.m. in Singapore. Thank you, Black Wolf. Can't wait to harvest 4 racks of ribs, man. Oh man, I'm telling you, today is definitely the barbecue day, and I'm looking forward to eating a bunch of it today. So let's see if we get some more comments. Let's see, we're up to 129 thumbs up with 134 people watching right now. Wow, that's great. It's only been on for half an hour, so that's awesome. Yes, morning greetings from central Nebraska. Getting ready to jar the last 5 gallons of honey I'll have left from last season. Well, how many from this season? Third person, have a nice day, Mr. Jeff. Hello from Russia. Actually, my father's side of the family came from Georgia in Russia, and so Russian immigrants. Their last name, it's Horchov. My last name Horchov. It's a shorter form of their original name, which is like Horchovinsky or something like that. I don't even know what it is, but man, thank you so much for a person for watching. Darren, thank you very much, Darren. Oh, golly, y'all are so much. From Kansas, good morning, Imani, Glasgow. 6 beehives at the top of my building. Wow, on the top of the building. I know several beekeepers that do that, keep bees on the top of the building. They actually asked me if I wanted to put some on top of the library, which is a 4-story building. And I said, no, there's no way I want to lug equipment up to that story. Phil, sitting at a fire station watching your live chat. You do very good commenting with the beehive removal. Thanks, Phil. What fire station are you on? Hey, and Phil, I gotta say, every morning in my prayers, I pray for all firemen because, man, you all, I pray for all of our men and women in the military, our policemen, firemen, medical people, all the people that risk their lives for us. So thank you so much, Phil, for putting your life on the line for us. So thank you for what you do for that. 2002, bam. Good morning from Union Mills, North Carolina. Sourwood still flowing. You lucky people, man. We ain't got a lick of nectar going over here. We ain't got nothing. Let's see. Daniel Swenson from Idaho. Happy 4th to you as well. Tammy Wilgo. Wow, can't believe I caught you live. Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you so much. Mika Estes. My Mima used to host quilting bees when I was little, 45 years ago. Wow. They used to pass around a jar of cordial and Mona don't drink. She just sits in her. She don't drink. She don't smoke. She just likes to quilt. That's what she likes to do. Phil, District 4, Livingston Parish. You just up the road. Thank you, Phil. G Dog, hello from the Netherlands. Man, oh man, we are all over the world with 144 thumbs up. Look at that. Now we got more thumbs up than people watching that right now. We're at 145 with 131 watching. Red Horse, thank you, Mr. Ed. We are blessed as a nation. Amen. We are blessed as a nation, and it's one of the reasons I pray for all the men and women in the armed forces, because those men and women, man, they are doing a job that most of us would not even dream of wanting to do. So, golly, thank you all so much for doing that. My dad was in the Air Force for 27 years. I traveled throughout the United States, mostly in the South. We were in South Carolina. We were in Charleston. We were in Florida, several places in Florida. Texas, El Paso, San Antonio, and then we got lucky. We got stationed to Panama Canal Zone, where I lived for 5 years. Man, what an awesome place to grow up as a kid. So again, I'm very familiar with the military life and what that's about, and so I really do appreciate all what the men and women do that in all our branches of armed forces, and really the armed forces throughout the world. It's just, they're doing a job that is terrible, and but it's one that needs to be there. Question: if you could have only 10 hives you could spend more time in and enjoy, or 100 strong hives that produce tons of honey, which would you prefer? Both. I'd like to do both, because actually I fool with the bees at my house, and then we've only got 3 hives over there, so I get to still do that, and all those are doing really well. But I enjoy doing what I do here at the Abbey so much. I would never want to stop doing that. And so as long as I have good time, Charlie, and a bunch of other good friends help me do the work here, man, I'll keep on doing it. But it's such a blessing for all of us who volunteered to do this, because none of us are paid to do this. We just come up here and we work in all the good weather, bad weather, and we do it because we want to support the monks and what they do. And so no, I never want to stop doing that. But at the same time, I do love having just a few hives. Rhonda Swanson, Southeast Texas. Don't have bees yet, but looking for best place on property for hive placement and wondering if capturing a swarm might be an option versus purchase. Of course, it's an option, and it's pretty much swarm season is over for us. I mean, you might catch a later in the year swarm, but the best time to catch swarms is early in the spring, especially in Texas, Southeast Texas. So I'm imagining Brownsville, somewhere around there. So yeah, definitely set traps, and I've got plenty of videos on how I would do that. Happy Independence Day to you too, Bear Person. David Lewis, Jason, I only have the energy. Jason, 71 years old. Keep on going, dude. Lane 1. Tell us what the monks do. I have no idea. Well, it's a religious order, so they're religious. They pray. They're the order that I'm affiliated with, the Benedictines, which is this group of men. Um, they're all over the United States, and their mother monasteries in England. I'm not England. It's in Europe, and I can't remember the name of it. So there there's monks and there's priest monks. Some of the monks are priests, and it's a Catholic religious group. So they practice Catholicism, and that's what they do. Always supported humane bee removals. Good. We have them in Singapore too. I love bees, but I'm also terrified of them. Most people are. Most people are afraid of bees. But one good thing about YouTube channels is that regardless of how afraid you are of bees, there's no way you're going to get stung watching somebody like Dirt Roosters, JP, Shall We, Yappy, the hundreds of other beekeepers that rescue bees all around the country and world. So YouTube is a great venue for watching that, and then also helping us overcome our natural fears of bees. I mean, heck, help me. And that's another, David offers another good suggestion, Rhonda. Bee clubs. If you join a bee club, and there's a wealth of information in there, and it's always best to learn how to keep bees in the area that you are in, because that's the you don't want to learn how to keep bees from somebody who's in Canada if you're in Texas. It's just it's not going to work. Weird question. I harvested some honey a few weeks ago. It's got a bit of a kick to it, like they mixed in some chili powder. Nothing wrong with that. Any idea what flowers might have caused that? Nope, I don't have any idea. I know in Alaska, they have the fireweed that it's not anything that is infused in the honey, but it's the honey has a natural hot taste to it. Now there are infused honeys that they put heat in. In fact, when I was in Texas, I met a guy, Troy, that he infuses. I forget the name of the chili. It's not a ghost pepper. It's something even hotter. He infuses that um, with his honey, and it's so interesting because you taste the sweet of the honey, not just the burn. And then after that sweetness is gone, then you taste the hot of the pepper. So it's really a great combination. So I love hot. Me and Mona both like hot. We eat jalapenos a lot. Reaper. Savoyer Bee. Thank you for saving souls and making people happy through beekeeping. Oh, thank you very much for that. Nice. That's kind. Bohemia Bees. Lee, you don't have to work today, Lee. I know you work on Saturdays a lot. Working them cranes. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see if we got any questions. Garrison Apiaries. Happiest Independence Day from Vancouver, Washington. Man, what a wonderful place up there. One day I am going to get out up there. Pulled some of our first honey yesterday. What kind of blooms are going on up there? Man, that's such a beautiful area. I mean, beautiful. I'd love to go up there. Carolina Reaper, David Lewis. I do want to talk about our honey harvest. I'm checking to see William Cope from Kentucky. Hello. Let me get started. Finally got 3. Good for you, Lee. So if you got 3 days off, why aren't you in bed sleeping? Because I know you work a lot of long shifts. Golly. But I'm glad you checked out and looked at me this morning. Dennis Barney. I have feral bees that have gone hot without changing queen. Not superseded. Any thoughts on reason they go hot? The way I've always been taught is that being that the queen is drawing from different sperm banks as she's fertilizing her eggs, and that the bees are that when she lays those eggs and gets the sperm from that sperm sac to do it, that drone could have been a more aggressive type drone. And so the personality of a hive can change. It can change every 6 weeks. It can change. So wait a little while, and if it doesn't change, then requeening may be an option. But it's just that's just part of it. It's not that would be my answer as to why a colony changes, unless the Africanized bees got in there and ran everybody out. That's the other thing. Scott Simon from Ohio. Hey, Scott. David Barnium. Happy Independence Day from Langton, Ontario, Canada. Wow, we are in the start of it, Darth. Casey, you need to do that soap video you promised with the monks. Brother Austin I spoke with him 3 or 4 days ago, and he is just swamped right now with backlogs. He was on vacation for 4 or 5 days, and he is just over his head with orders right now. So we will get a video on that. I promise, Casey. Look at that, Jeremy from Texas. Now, Jeremy and I were supposed to do a cutout when we went to Conroe to do the talk, and he had us a doozy. Now, Jerry, I'm gonna see if I can pull up the pictures that you sent me of this hive that you did. This thing was a monster. And all right, let's see. There you go. Here you go, right here. Here's the picture that of the hive that Jeremy was supposed to have done. As it turned out, the Monday that we were supposed to do this, Mona wound up getting what's that? Where she gets real dizzy. She gets these spells every once in a while on Sunday evening, and we had to come back home. So I wasn't able to do that, but he did that. That hive was huge, and he did it, and the temperatures were over 100 degrees when he did it. So, Jeremy, you the man, Jeremy. Russell Amon, hello. Justin Dobbs Nash, all the videos. Thank you very much, Justin. It ended up being in the Virgo. I didn't get that, Jeremy. Oh, Vertigo. That's right, Vertigo. That's what she had, Vertigo. Yeah, and so we wound up. Oh no! So that's what happened. We wound up coming home Sunday morning instead of. So Jeremy, I do apologize for that. And we since Mona's family is in Conroe, we'll be getting back. And Jeremy, you and I are going to hook up. But when it's cooler, we're not going to do nothing when it's 100 degrees. But Jeremy's out there. He's rescuing bees all the time. So Jeremy, keep up the good work. Now, thanks so much for stopping by this morning. Look at that. We're up to 170 thumbs up. We're doing really good, folks. Thank you. Keep hitting it. Savoy bees lost a lot of bees using foundation. Have not lost a single one since I started letting them draw their own. Any thoughts? Man, I love to let the bees draw their own foundation, but since I'm really into honey production, I need to get them on foundation, let them get them that jump, and I give them wax, and but I do love the natural comb. That's just awesome. So that's one of the reasons I have the long hives. Let them draw that out because I do love seeing it. Jeannie Wolf from Central Texas. What part of Central Texas, Jeannie? And good luck on your beehive journey. I always say one of my favorite saying is the world needs as many beekeepers as it can get. So become a beekeeper. It was up in the floor across that hive that Jeremy did. It was 4 to 5 feet long, 16-inch on center studs. Man, a monster. I should host a fish fry. Hey, Phil. What's new quilt on the wall? That's the. Well, I already talked about it, but that's Mona's creation for my wall here in the office with my logo on it. But she did an awesome job. I'm just looking at some of these comments. WPA Outdoors. Now, this man is the lucky winner of the jacket giveaway. What was that? 2 years ago, and he went and built a little case for it. He put it on the wall. It's got a spotlight on it, and he said he treasures that more than all of his children. No, he didn't say that. I'm just saying that. But so he did win the con. So thank you so much for checking back in. With how's the coat doing? Lost in Translation podcast. I'm glad I was able to catch you live. I have shared your story and it has changed lives. I have personally learned a lot from you. Thanks for all you do down at the Abbey. Oh man, thank you very much. In fact, when I was in Conroe at the Texas Beekeepers Association conference a couple of weeks ago, what I talked about, which is what I'm going to talk about when I go back to when I go up to Quincy, is being the beekeeper for the monks and that whole story. Because for me, it was it gave meaning to my life. This whole journey of becoming the beekeeper for the monks, and so I love sharing that story. And for even to add to the fact that I now I put slides to the presentation. So in fact, since I'm talking about right now, let's talk about that right now. Here you go, right here. I got this right here. So let's see if we can get it. So save the dates. So on July 14th and 15th, I am going to be in Quincy, Illinois, speaking at the Mississippi Valley Beekeepers Association Summer Clinic. It's the ISBA Summer Conference. And I'm not going to be the only one speaking there. They have got a list of great people and great YouTube people. Corey Stevens, Cayman Reynolds. Cayman is bringing his band. Okay, he's bringing his band. Uh, Dirt Rooster, he's bringing his stuff. He's selling stuff, so you can get Dirt Rooster stuff when you go up there. Natalie Summers, she's going to be up there talking. And of course, I'll be up there talking. But they've got a list of great speakers talking. It's 2 days of be fun, be stuff, be fun. There's lots of vendors up there. Now, earlier, Tony Adrick from Everything BVAC, he was at the Texas Beekeepers Conference a few weeks ago. He'll be up there as well, selling the Everything BVAC. Man, great BVAC. I mean, I don't go on a removal without mine. Neither does the Rooster. In fact, Rooster uses his probably most of the time. I use mine a lot of the times, but I use it every time as a cleanup vac. It vacuums all the bees, the loose bees that are in. That way, I don't have to go back into my big vac and get it. And also, I know for a fact who's going to be up there is John Hill with Hillco. He'll be up there peddling his wares as well. And a few weeks back, I did a comparison video using one of John's extractors. I did the extraction video. I was comparing a a Maxent, a Hillco, and a Vivor. Three different manufacturers, all with you know they all did great job. So if you ever or if you're in the market for extractor, of course I'm going to recommend you go check out that video and you can see comparisons of the three to give you an idea of what's out there about that different types of extractors. But Hilco will be there, and they not only do extractors, they do bottling tanks. And John is actually his companies. They they um, they have the best warranty on the market out there, and as well as that, they also have some great innovations in their product. And go to the booth when you get up there. Go to the booth, talk to John. Man, he is a very personable guy. He'll talk to everybody, just like me. He'll talk to everybody, and before you're finished talking with him, you can say, "Man, what can I buy from this guy? Because this is awesome." So Hilco will be there, everything BVAC, and I don't know all the other vendors. I'm sure Man Lake, other bee supply companies will be there. Uh, I don't know the name of all the vendors, but if you go to their web page, that is the Mississippi Valley Beekeepers Association web page, you can go to that, and there's a list of the itinerary, the schedule. There's bios on all the speakers, and um, that the description for the beekeeper for the Mississippi Valley Beekeepers Association, that is in my description of this video. So go to that and check it out. Lawrence Martin from Canton, Texas. Man, I hope I get to come up to see you guys again, Lawrence. I visited y'all last September, and I talked to a few people that were in Conroe. So hopefully I'll be able to come visit y'all again in Canton like I did last year. That was a great clinic. It was a 1-day clinic. Man, there were like, for a 1-day clinic, there were like 250 people there. Man, amazing. So if I'm there, Lawrence, I hope to see you up there again. Castle Haas. Good morning. I bought the Ultramax from Hilco after Mike Barry's video. Yeah, Mike also did when Mike went to Hive Life last year. He got the Hilco, and he did a video on that as well. And as you all know, that's world famous Mike Barry. He's up probably only about 25 miles from me. So he's right out there, and he did one as well. So I talked to Randy right before um, uh, I got on this morning, and he was telling me that he has to go over to his dad's because his dad is getting a truckload of they got to move some honey. I don't know. He's going to be real busy. So I was really surprised that Randy even showed up this morning. So Randy, if you're still listening, make sure you tell your dad that I said hello too, because I know I haven't seen him in a while, a couple of weeks, couple of months. So make sure I tell him I said hello. All right, so I talked about the clinic, man, and I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I just had to make our hotel reservation. I forgot to do that earlier, so I did that this morning. So at least now I know that we'll have a room to stay while we're up there. But I am looking forward to going up there and talking about what I do here. And also, I know another thing that's not the only thing that I'll be talking about. Um, I know they have a schedule down where this is going to be. No, there's no telling what's going to happen. But Randy and I are going to get together for a Q&A session. Now that is going to be a crazy time for those that were lucky, I should say, lucky enough to have seen us when we were at Hive Life with Fred Dunn. That was a real experience. I know Cayman has done a release of the videos of the entire Hive Life 2023, and we are in that. So if you ever want to look what Hive Life is all about, I would recommend purchasing that DVD set. I think there's 3 DVDs in there, and Fred Dunn, that's Professor Fred Dunn, the 628 Dirt Rooster, and myself. We sat on stage for an hour. It might have been more than an hour. And we just talk stories. And it was so incredible. Fred Dunn is like the most intelligent beekeeper that I know, which is why I call him Professor Fred. That man is just so knowledgeable. Not only is he knowledgeable, Gen D's bees, hello. Not only is he knowledgeable, but the guy is a natural photographer. He has got some great pictures, videos, and and he puts that knowledge that he has behind when he shows his pictures. Oh my goodness. He if any of y'all don't know about Frederick Dunn, you got to go to his channel and go watch some of Fred Dunn's videos. That guy is phenomenal. John Hemingway, a fan in the UK. And Fred's got his signature up there. You'd better believe he's up there. What is your go practice to keep bees from returning to a cutout location, both short and long term? The best long term way of doing it is to seal it up. But before you seal it up, fill the void. Fill the void with insulation, pack it where the bees were. And then seal it up as tight as you can get. Bees will continue going back to the same location year after year. I've had bees go back 10 years later to the same spot and still get back in there. So that there is no long-term solution for that. If any of you all want to become an instant bazillionaire, come up with something, some product that will keep bees from returning to an area. If you come up with something like that, man, you're gonna have a product that will sell and sell and sell and sell forever. So come up with that, and you're gonna be very rich. Fred's my favorite beekeeping channel. Yep, I'm telling you, I love watching Fred. It's almost like I want to watch Fred and go to sleep listening to all the bee talk that he's talking about. And his voice is so soothing. He's such a so when he was on stage with Randy and I, you might not notice this about Randy and I, but we've got this kind of like really high energy level. I don't know what it's about, but we both have that. And Fred is so like one level, Fred. So he is like the perfect balance to bring me and Randy together. So I love working with Fred and enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to being able to do that in the future. But for the conference in Quincy, it's just going to be Randy and I. So, but you all have fun doing that as well. Lynette Lawrence, Gunlawn Bees, I'm watching Jeff and fixing my clothes washer. You are my favorite beekeeper. Thank you, Lynette. I'm glad that other people are reading these comments and answering them because I can't keep up with them. They're just flying up so fast on my screen. That's why I need to have somebody else in here. That's why I need Lee in here to help me with this, to say, Jeff, we got a good one right here. And so Lee, one of these days when you're off, we need to schedule a day when you're off and we can go live together. And that way you can help me. Because man, I'm pretty bad at doing this. Dennis Barney is watching me while fixing his clothes washer. Bastilio. Hey, Jeff, nice to see you here live once coming weekend. I have to harvest the summer honey. Good. Linden trees. Where are you, Bastilio? Where are you? From Pride, Louisiana. How are you, brother? Annette, do you sell any merchandise like hoodies? Nah, I don't sell anything. I just don't have enough time. I really don't have time to do any of that stuff. It'd be fun, but and I know it would make a lot of y'all very happy, but I really don't have the time to do it. So I'm sorry. Michael Dahmer from Northwest Indiana. Darren, thank you again. I always watch the end of your videos, watching to hear you saying, thank you, Jesus. when you catch those queens. Oh yeah, that's every time I catch a queen, I, I really am. I'm in awe. It's like I don't possess any special skills. Trust me, I don't. I possess no special skills from Germany. Thank you, Bastilio. Um, in finding in locating queens, it's all a grace. And very often, as I'm doing the cutouts, as I'm doing uh, the cutouts, I'm saying prayers. I know it's a kind of weird thing, but that's part of what I'm um, my years here with the monks. It's just part of my life now that work and prayer, they kind of like mesh together, and they become one. And in fact, that is what they say, or at labor, work and prayer and work. And there's little distinction. The monks draw little distinction between the two because work is prayer in the sense that when you do your work and it's the best that you do, it's an offering to God, and so it becomes prayer. And so that's what I try to do is when I'm doing a removal, that's what I'm doing. And very often though, I will actually say a prayer, especially when I know I'm getting close to, for the graces to be able to find and locate the queen, not ever get hurt. So I don't have any special qualities. In fact, my eyes are kind of bad, which is one of the reasons I like taking off that hood, because the veil darkens it too much for me and I can't see as well. And so when I take the veil off, I can see so much better. So yeah, it's prayer and grace that allow me to catch the the queen. Planetary healer, good eyesight. Now that is a big plus. Um, uh, that's probably why the rooster, he can't find the queen because his eyes can't see too good either. But his dad can spot him a mile off and say, "Randy, right there on the right, there she is." Thank you, Jesus. Right, Lee. Thank you, Jesus. Lee, come on, you haven't said anything. When are we gonna get together, man? We got to do this thing. Lee has got such a nice setup in his office, his room where he does his live broadcast. He got like 5 or 6 screens up there, 4 or 5 microphones. He's very professional. I'm like one computer with that tiny little camera up there. Uh, King, yeah, no way. Look at that. We're at the 190 thumbs up. Come on, man. We got to hit 250 before I go off. Come on, hit the thumbs up for me. Please hit the thumbs up so we can get that thumbs going. Let's see. Randy can't see them through all that sweater. Yep, you're right. That's probably one of the things. That's one of the reasons Randy doesn't even wear a, a jacket, a suit, because those things, as everybody well knows, they are hot. And you might not notice it around. He's a big fella. Smoking Joe, how does Texas Bee Works do cutouts while wearing black clothes and no veils? She doesn't get hit like you. Well, Joe, that's a question that you need to ask Erica, because I don't know. But I'm sure she'd be happy to tell you. So you need to ask Erica that question. But she does some awesome removals. James Barron, I've seen clear visors that attach to your veil. You cut out a piece of your veil, install it. It one of the things with anything solid that it restricts any airflow. And as soon as airflow is restricted, poof, boy, that sweat will just come on you. So I'm not in favor of anything solid, especially over my face, where most of your heat is moving up into your head. And that's where the hot is really located. Jeremy says, I'm sure that some of hers are not as calm as such. There are some that I can remove without being attacked, and others are murdered. Or murder, yeah. So Jeremy, like I said, is in Texas. I don't know what part of Texas Erica is in. Zane Ziggy Bees. I use a sweatband. Yeah. That's a good trick. And then When that's not good enough, I take off the jacket and veil. Can't see if I don't. Yeah, that putting a sweatband, um, it definitely would help. But then again, just that constant pressure on my head. No, I'm not interested in do that. Cranky trolley. When wearing bee suit, when it's hot, I use the little fans that fit around the neck. Now that is a great suggestion. Somebody had shown those to me. Um, I think it was when I was in Texas, and I think I'm gonna have to try some of those. It's just a little fan that blows air around this part of your neck, and which would really help a lot in keeping your head cool. Barbara Freely, I love the quilt, Jeff. Didn't she do a great job, Barbara? Oh, that's awesome. And that's just a little wall quilt. She likes doing the full queen size quilts. That's really what she likes doing. She loves making quilts for our beds. I'm nearsighted, so I have to remove my glasses to see eggs. I have a lot of trouble seeing eggs. I've got to get that frame just right, just so that enough daylight is getting in there. Because if I shine the flashlight, it's too bright. It's just got to be just right. Yep, that's the quilt you signed, Lee. That's the one. You're on there. I got 40 times. I got stung 40 plus times, and a dog got it at least 20. That's that's rough when when the bees are that bad. I I've been stung that many times at once. It's definitely not something that you want to experience again. But generally, even when I wear a suit, I'm still get stung. They'll somehow or another manage to get into my suit and still get stung. They'll sting you through your suit. It's just part of it. I know that Mona's gonna be watching this, and she's gonna be so happy when she reads comments about her quilt. I don't know where yours is, Pete. Where is it? Oh yeah, Pete, yours is up there. It's let's see. I know it's up there. Let's see. Let's see. Let me show you. There's Pete's right here, 628. We got Shawi, Good Time Charlie, Wreck It Ralph. Here's Ian Stepler, Frederick Dunn, the professor. There's JP, Joey Riles, Bob Walker right there. Jason from the Bearded Bee Works. Gene's Bees, that's Gary Atkinson, another Oklahomian guy. Um, World famous Mike Barry, Cayman Reynolds. This is a blank one. Matthew from Duck River. Look at that. Greg Burns. And here, Blue Ridge Honey. Bob Benny. Look at that. We've got Bob Benny's up here. There's Lee's right there. The 628 Dirt Rooster. Oh, that's me. And that's Mona. Well, I don't know how that came out. I was too far away. I wasn't looking. Most were in the legs. Yeah, legs. I'd rather get stung in the leg than any place else. Chest, legs, arms. That's okay. I don't. But man, hitting in the face. Whew, ears, nose, lips. Oh, all that is bad, bad, bad. Yeah, Jeremy, those definitely sound like Africanized to me. And I know you don't have a lot of those over there, but I'm surprised you don't have more than as much as many bees that you get. I'm surprised that you don't come across them more often because I know you were telling me you don't have that problem. Now, Tony Adrick, on the other hand, that's all he has is Africanized bees. And Tony, the guy from Everything BVAC, and he did a presentation. I watched his presentation at the conference in uh, when I was up there last time, and he showed the pictures of his bees and videos. And golly, he's got mean girls. He has got mean girls, and he has got to put on a full suit. And look, he's saying right now, love my mean bee girl. He did it. his presentation, part of it was how do you survive the bees? And man, he's got some mean bees. Michael says uh, they chased him for 400 yards. I gave the queen the hive tool test the next day. That's one way of changing the queens, huh? All right, look, we're up to 217 thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. I'm trying to get this number up today because this is the number that I'm going to throw in the dirt rooster's face. 136 people still watching. Wow, we've been on for an hour and 15. Now I know I got to end it at 11 o'clock, so we still got 45 minutes I can yap away at. So let's see if you got some questions. Come on, throw some questions at me. 139 people watching. Woo, look at that. 224. Come on, ask a question. Baker's Bees. When are you pulling honey supers? We did it last week and we harvested. And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. Dirt Rooster is watching, so he probably is waiting on the thumbs up. I've already went out and used the weed eater and come back. What are you doing that at this time of the day for, Bob? Man, John Budd. Randy says you have one queen you carry, the same one around. Well, the story is that Good Time Charlie, I'm gonna talk about that, Michael. Good Time Charlie has a queen rearing program where Charlie trains queens, and it's very little known fact, but for the beekeepers out there on YouTube that like to show the queen capture, Charlie trains bees to come out on cue so that the bee wrangler can get the queen and show her. So that's the story. Look at that from Mandeville, Craig. Oh, at the Harvard. So that's the story, that Charlie raises queens to do that. But, I'm not going to say that's true or not true, but it is a story that's circulating right now. So that's just something out there for you all to wonder about. East Coast, how's it feel to be 1 hour behind? Galloway Lights. Craig, what part of Mandeville are you in? Deborah, look at that. Woo, congratulations. Now you get to travel. You want to try your hand at building a swarm trap. Any suggestions? Yeah, I've got to suggest. They've got plenty of YouTube videos on that. And if I would suggest to build a swarm trap, I don't know the name of them, but they're the ones that are extra deep. There's probably about 6 inches below. There are 7 frames, and there's like 6 inches below the frames. Those are the ones that I would recommend you build, because for some reason swarms love that area and that space underneath it. And then Old Manville, good, Craig, because Craig, I did that removal on Livingston Street. Charlie and I did that one 3 weeks ago. They tore the house down now, and I don't know if you saw that video, but the address of that house was 1920, and I delivered mail in that area for 25 years. I delivered mail in Old Mandeville. Great part of Mandeville. My favorite part was Old Mandeville. In fact, I used to live on Lafitte Street when I first moved to Mandeville in 1978. I lived on Lafitte Street, 2 blocks from the lake. I had a 3-bedroom house, screened in front porch, big old yard, and I never locked my doors, slept with the doors open and the screen porch open. So we could have all kind of good stuff going on. Had the fan going on out there. Man, those were the days. Not anymore, though. Oh, Lafayette. I was at 218 Lafitte is where I lived. Steve Amos from North Carolina. Just watch you on Fred's channel. Oh, Fred Dunn, Professor Fred. Gina Norville from New York. Gina, my good buddy. Let's see, Tom Wilkes. is a what do they call it? Top of the building beekeeper. He keeps his hives on the building tops. In fact, his honey brand is called zip code honey because each building has their own zip code, and so that's how he distinguishes the honey. He sells it under the zip code. Very, very interesting way of doing that. I've been knowing Tom now for gee whiz, 8, 10 years. His wife Barb, they would come down every other year. They come to New Orleans and visit. And Tom has been in several of my videos over the years. It's probably been 4 or 5 years since they've been down again. But every time he calls me up and says, "Come on, we're taking you out for lunch." And we go out, we eat, and spend a day with Tom and Barb. In fact, Tom actually helped me assemble frames one of the times he came up here. Katrina moved me to Lacombe, but I love the woods. Yeah, I pulled lots of bees out of Lacombe as well, Craig. Terry Yvonne Storney. This was our first year for extracting honey. How much honey did you get, Terry? Busy Bees, Botswana. Hi, all. And Jeff, I'm Joy from Busy Bees, Botswana in Africa. Thanks so much. I watch all YouTube stuff and learn so much. Thank you so much for watching, especially in Africa. Golly, thank you for doing that. Annette, what is the professor's channel again? That is Frederick Dunn. It's FredrickDunn. It's Nobody. Hey, look who it is. Nobody G. Hello. Good morning to you. Yeah, everybody needs to go look at Fred Dunn's channel. Fred's videos, he does a lot of Q&As, but he also does videos on his bees. His video quality is outstanding, and most often he dubs in the video. But golly, when you watch what Fred videos and the pictures he takes, you're just going to think you're like watching National Geographic or something like that. So Fred, I'm really pumping you really good. I hope that you get to see this. Found it. Good, Annette. Hey, Annette, you see it? It got moved, but it's over in the corner up at the top. That's where Mona put it. I can't, man. Mona rearranged the whole office. Well, I wanted her to because I wanted that in the big part. And so she arranged all the pictures. She's got all the pictures, put my chalkboard up. She's got everything rearranged. She even came in here and dusted and everything and cleaned it all up. That's it. That's the way to be. In fact, wait, let me get this. when Fred honors you and asks you to come on his channel and talk to you, he after that he grilled me for an hour and a half. I was on there, and man, we had a great time. And at that time, I was actually living at the monastery, so it was at night, and so I had to talk real quiet because you're not even supposed to be doing this stuff at night. But I was doing. But anyway, when you get to go on Fred's channel, Fred sends you that Be the Way coffee cup. Yeah, so this is one of my prized possessions, and I keep it here at the office. Ronald Groves, hi from New York, upstate New York. Terry Vaughn story. We was exclusively a quail farm now. All right, let's see. Man, 242 thumbs up. Awesome. That's a double thumbs up from Mr. Ed for that. All right, come on. Look, I don't want to go on. Really, I'd like to hit 300. If we could hit 300, that would be like a super bragging right to the rooster, because he and I, we talk about that. Say how many thumbs up you get. Randy gets like 1,000 thumbs up in about 2 hours. It's like, what? When he posts a video, it's like unbelievable. And he always laughs about I get about four. And so he uh he and I we like talking about that part too. I'd call mama to get her to thumbs up. Yeah, call your mom, call anybody, give me a thumbs up. What? You exaggerated so bad. You're right. It's more like 1,500, right? That's what you. I know what you get. I see them, so I know. It's like it's. I'm so embarrassed when he asks me how many did you get, how many thumbs up, and I say I don't even want to talk about. It. I mean, I can't believe. Don't you have work to do? You should be helping your dad. I'm Mr. Ed and fellow, I can't pronounce that word, RTX honeybees, Philip Morris, hello. Coleman Ramsey, thumbs up. Thank you, Coleman. Thank you. All right, I see it jumped up a little bit. That's what we want. Remember, we got to throw this one in the rooster's face. I think, like I said earlier, I think he and I are tied about 20 or 21 swarms each. Um, How far apart can you keep Africanized bees colonies? That's a question for Tony. Tony, you're going to have to answer that question. I don't know because I don't want any Africanized bees in my apiary. Amy Burner. Hey, Mr. Ed, my hubby told me to get on here and thumbs up. Oh, thank you, hubby, and thank you, Amy. Hey, Amy, did your hubby also give a thumbs up? He can go on his channel and hit the thumbs up. Pete, behind the camera, y'all. Abbott and Costello. Yeah, Pete is the real the guy behind the 628 Dirt Rooster success because everybody wants to see Pete do all the work while Randy just holds the camera. But actually, Pete holds the camera quite often. Now, on our videos, it's strictly Good Time Charlie. Well, now Julio he's been standing in for Charlie since Charlie wasn't there, but Charlie is the cameraman, and you can't ask Charlie to do anything because while we're doing video because he can't get any sticky on the honey, any sticky on the camera because that's not going to fly. Charlie likes to have clean hands for the operation. Got to go bottle some honey. Thank you so much, Bob, and thank you so much for your gift. Golly, brother. And I know I'll be seeing you one day soon. Mr. Ed, how can you tell of robber bees? That's easy. They got the little, masks on, and some of them even carry a pistol. But other than that, the way I tell robber bees, the easiest way is they will enter the hive when you're doing a removal from an area outside of where the entrance had been. Hive bees will only go to where the entrance was, even though it's gone. They're still going to go right there. Robber bees, they're going to go anywhere there's access so they can get to the honey quick and get out. That's how I tell the difference. Mask. That's right. You see, most beekeepers know the way to tell a robber bee is they're wearing a mask. That's right. And then a lot of times you hear the sirens or come on. The police are after. And they have a double barrel stinger. Was going to do my honey harvest today, but it's pouring rain and thunder storms today. So one of the things that I did this year, that I would suggest when you bring in your honey and it's sitting in your honey room, run a dehumidifier. We brought in honey for 3 days, and for 3 days I was running the dehumidifier, got the room down to 52%. When I first started, it was at 76%, and got the humidity down to 52%. And trust me, it'll actually start drying your honey out, even if it's sitting in your drums or on the frames. Any open cells, it'll start drying that stuff out. I also run fans in there, so it's a great idea. Thumbs up from the Olympic Peninsula. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. And thank you for the thumbs up. Come on, we got to jump it up. Got to hit that 300 number. So yeah, dehumidifier. I hate to say it, world famous Mike Barry. He told me about it, and it's a great idea. So I did it. In fact, he is actually harvesting, processing his honey right now. He's running he was running his dehumidifier, ever since he's been bringing in his honey. So it really does dry. In fact, he tested his honey, any uncapped honey, some uncapped honey in there, and he said it was at 15%. Some of that uncapped stuff. So man, that's awesome. No, I still haven't talked about the honey harvest yet, Philip. I'm getting ready to. Uh, Tony doesn't have a YouTube channel. If you look up allmybees.com, that's his website, and he's got videos and all that stuff on it. It's allmybees.com, one word. Allmybees, ALLMYBEES.com. That's his website, and that'll lead you to Tony. Baby Bee Apiaries. Hey, Mike from Baby Bee Apiaries here in Pennsylvania. Happen to see you were live. Yep, live for at least another 30 minutes. You know, one of the things that I talk about in my talk is our honey house, and one of one of one of the another YouTuber, Jerome Beekeeping Homestead, uh, Darren Jerome, he calls the place the stainless steel palace. It's what he calls our honey house, because when we set up the honey house, when we first doing it, we thought we thought that we would have to fall under the guidelines of commercial, and as commercial, um, you have to have everything's got to be food grade. Everything's got to be, you know, done right. And so we set the whole thing up, did everything we were supposed to do. The only thing that we didn't do was set up a bathroom in the honey house. But we were given a dispensation that we can use the bathroom in the building right next door. So it was close enough that we didn't have to include it, because we didn't have the space to put a bathroom in there. And so we did all that, and then after we did all that, spent all that extra money to do it. And I'm not sorry we did. I'm not. They came back, and the State Department came back and said, because the only place that we sell our honey is in the gift shop, that we will then fall under the mom and pop category, that we don't have to have all that stuff. So even though it wasn't necessary for us to do it, we did it, and it really is. It's impressive to go in there and see that equipment. It's not like the production lines that a lot of the commercial guys have. It's all separate machines, as you all well know, and it's just the way I've configured it. But I love how Darren says, yeah, the stainless steel palace. Now look, I am going to talk about the honey. Irish technical thinker. Greetings from Ireland. We love our bees here and make some beautiful honey. I bet y'all do. One day I might be able to make it to Ireland. I'd love to. I'd love to see the hills. So I am going to talk about the honey, but I'm talking about the honey house. One of the plans that Mona has, and I have too, because it was my idea. She just went along with it and built on it. One of the walls is going to be used as a display wall. And I haven't asked about this for a while, because it's still in a work in process. But let me let me go back here to my drawer and show you something. Let me pull out some of these. So all of these letters right here. In fact, I got one yesterday. I got one from St. Lucia. Look at that. This one came from St. Lucia. Um, all these all these letters contain labels, labels, people's honey labels from their honey bottles. And what I want to do is on one of my walls, Mona's going to paint it and decorate it and get it all. It'll actually look like something like this back here. But anyway, I don't know what her plan is for it, but she's got it thought out. And and then on that wall, I'm going to be placing labels. So I'm asking you, you've already been so generous already with your time this morning and plenty of people with their money. Thank you all very much. Um, Send me your honey label and the address to send it. Go to the description in this video, go to the description, and in that you'll see it. But uh, for those that don't know it, it's you're going to send your letter to me at the Abbey at Mr. Ed, 75376 River Road, St. Benedict, Louisiana, 70457, and I'll get it. I really hope one day to make a video of just me reading these letters, because not only do they send me their labels, but some of the stories that go along with the labels are just incredible. I mean, beautiful stories like the one from St. Lucia's. I mean, he's wanting to produce honey for the whole island. It's like wonderful stories. And some of these, they really should be read because it's just a testimony of the love that beekeepers have, not only for their bees, but for the environment, for the people in the environment. It's just beautiful. And I'm privileged to have people send me these letters and tell me their stories. So I'd be honored and privileged to have your labels, your stories, and eventually have them go up on the wall. And since our honey season is now over, really, and I'm not doing cutouts per se um, for the next really 3 months because it's too hot. Uh, I am going to be focusing my attention now on the honey house, getting that thing ready to put up our walls. And I'll be making videos on that because it's going to be a fun story, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about the labels of the people the people behind the labels when I put them up. So I hope I'll be able to do all that stuff. So thank you in advance for sending me your label, but I'm looking forward to getting them. Let's see, we're up to 276 thumbs up. Just a few more. We got about 20 more minutes. I think we're going to hit my magic number 300. So look at that, Miss Funky H. Now she's been following along with me. It's funny because you all well know that when I answer my comments, I like to say God's peace, brother, sister, brother. I often say brother. And when Miss Funky H first started watching my channel, I remember her because she had it was a image of this man, this big guy, and so when I when I finished the comment, I said, "God's peace, brother," and she replied saying, "Well, I'm not a brother, I'm a sister." And so because of that, I remember, and she's gone through many different Ataris over the time. But in fact, I can't even remember what yours is right now. But I always remember your first one, so I guess that's important. Huh? That's right. Wildwood, tell him. Sting that thumbs up. Let's hit that. Let's go way over that 300 so that I can brag on this one to the rooster. Now he's going to be saying that I was holding on so long just to hit that number. But I'm going to say, no, man, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. So let's see. All right. So I've talked about the honey house, talked about the conference, talked about the quilt. No, you didn't miss the quilt, Doris. There it is. But you missed me about talking. You're gonna have to um, uh, you're gonna have to watch the whole video. Go back and watch the video on the replay and talk about the quilt because I talk about the quilt. uh, Miss Funky H, it was a notorious big avatar. Yeah, I remember it. I remember it. And I remember how small I felt when he said, "No, I'm a lady. I'm not a man." Uh, so I've talked about all that stuff. The only thing I haven't talked about, and it's because I'm kind of like really uh, um, sad about it, is our honey harvest. And as you well know, for the last 3 months, I have I have been talking about I am worried about our honey harvest. We started out in March, really late February and March. Boy, it was just gangbusters. The bees were doing fantastic. In fact, I had made all of my splits, done all my splits by like the first week in March. I was finished doing all of our splits, and the hives were doing super, super good. Everything was going right. I used this year. I used the double screen dividing board to do almost all of my splits because there were no swarm cells in there. It was so warm; the bees were just growing so much, but there were no swarm cells. So I used the boards to make my splits. I had a 100% success on splits. I probably did somewhere between 80 or 90 splits, and I had 100% success. All of them were requeened using emergency cells, cells from their own queen. Um, so it was great. And man, we were tracking that our blueberries were they were budding out. The blackberries were, man, everything was just the way it ought to be. And the best part about it, our bees, the number of bees in our hives were tracking right on this. I said, me and Mike, we were talking, man, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. That's world famous Mike Barry. And so around the 20th of March or somewhere around that, bam, we got hit with a super, super hard freeze for 2 days. We were in the teens, the upper teens. But what had happened was that our tallow, which is our main honey flow, our tallow had just started budding out. And that freeze killed all the new growth on the tallow. Consequently, that killed all the buds. It that's when I started worrying. Um, Typically, our tallow will start blooming um, mid-May is when it'll start blooming. We had our frost end of March, somewhere at the end of March. So we're 2 weeks, and I called Mike, said, "Man, this is bad," and he's telling me this is bad, and he's telling me all the bad reports he's hearing, and our privet, which we also rely on, had plenty of privet, but there was no nectar associated with the privet. So I'm sorry, I'm not reading the comments. I want to tell this story, and so the uh, the reliance on our tallow for making our honey really became heavy. And now our tallow has been crippled. It was, I can't remember the date. It was probably about 3 weeks after that, I saw the new growth. And I posted videos on this, on what's going on. In fact, one of the videos I posted was not only were we getting no tallow nectar. But here at the Abbey, one day there was like a microcell, a little tornado, and it just whatever blossoms that were on the tallow, boom, those got knocked off. It was like, man, we just can't win. Well, the tallow did come back made an attempt to come back, and we did have a semi tallow flow right towards the end. And I was optimistic about that. All along, I was what I was telling Mike is, man, this is going to be the worst year because not only we're not going to have any honey, but I'm going to have to feed our bees just to be able to get them through the winter. And that was really my worst nightmares. Not to get honey, but to have to feed bees. Because if you all know me, there's one thing I don't like to do, and that's to work bees. I don't like going out there and working bees. They just need to be on their own, do it on their own, make it on their own. And and so I'm thinking, man, I gotta feed bees. That is the worst thing that could happen to me. Well, the tallow did kind of come through, and uh, it was right at that point, right before the second blue came on, I started throwing honey supers on, and I threw on probably about probably about 60 honey supers, and we went and harvested our honey supers last week. We went and did it. And out of the 60 supers that I put on there, I brought back 20 supers of honey. That was it. That was it. Now I'm going to post the video of our honey harvest um, uh, next week. It'll be the honey harvest next week, so you can go to that and see what we actually did. But the long run, it was um, 20 boxes, and we wound up with about 80 gallons. But like I said, it is the best tasting honey that I've ever gotten from off our bees. Um, awesome, awesome. Look at that. We're over 300, 303, and we still have 15 minutes to go. Thank y'all. Rooster, you're going to eat your heart out on this one. uh, so it was the absolute worst honey harvest. Thankfully, and this is the part that I am so thankful about, that every box that we pulled off, when I pull it off, I look down in our second brood box, because I run two deep brood boxes, and then one honey super, a deep honey super. That's my configuration. And when I pull off that honey super on every one, and I look down into the top brood box, I see nothing but white. So cap honey. So at least really the great part that I'm grateful about is that the bees were able to capitalize on the minimal amount of nectar that was out there and still fill their supers enough to be able to survive our winter, go through the dearth. Now that is like such a big plus for me. The other big plus for me is that that 2 years ago, when we harvested over 6,000 pounds of honey, I still have 4 drums of that honey still in the honey house. Yes, it's hard as a rock, um, but I can decrystallize it, and I will be using that honey. Is going to be the honey that is going to be sold this year in the gift shop, because everybody knows honey doesn't go bad, and this stuff is. I'm gonna make a video on it when I do start decrystallizing it. So you all stay tuned for that. But it's still, we still will have honey for the gift shop, and that's the whole goal of Abbey Honey. The whole thing it was set up to do was, look at that, 311. We were supposed to supply honey to the gift shop all year round. If I maintained that goal, achieved that goal and maintained it, man, I've done everything I've wanted to accomplish with the Abbey Honey program here at St. Joseph Abbey. So, you know, God graced us with that abundance 2 years ago, and we'll be going to the bank on that this year. So unfortunately, there's not going to be any honey for sale outside of the gift shop. If you want some Abbey honey, you are going to have to come to the Abbey and purchase your honey this year because I can't even sell it online. I know I love doing that for people who watch my YouTube channel. It still is the same thing as the Abbey selling it. That we're not selling it, so it doesn't mess up our classification as a mom and pop. But I do sell it for people that watch my YouTube channel, and I'm not even going to be able to offer that this year because of that terrible honey harvest that we had this year. But like I said, I'm grateful that I don't have to feed the bees, and the bees will be doing fine. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Let's see some comments. Wildwood, thank you for stopping in this morning. Tell them they came back for you either, right, Baker? Galloway Lights, that moon and honey story was sweet. If next year honey harvest is too small too. If next, look, they don't classify bees as livestock for no reason at all. It's farming. And there are no guarantees with farming. And every farmer always hopes for the next season. And that's what I'm doing too. And as a beekeeper, that's really what you should do. It's not guaranteed. It certainly would be great and awesome and wonderful. If it doesn't happen, we still have our bees, and that's the important part. We still have our bees, and so we need to maintain those bees and do whatever it takes, what's in our power to maintain. So that's the important part. Miss Funky H, just asked my boyfriend to give you a thumbs up. Thank you. I hope he does, and then tell his friends to give me a thumbs up too. T Bean, have you ever considered selling creamed honey? Yep, that's going to be something in the future, but definitely not the very near future. Also, mead. The monks have been asking me to do that for years now, and so that will probably be a project one day as well. T Rojo, do y'all ever have clover down here? Actually, I think when we were in that dearth, the abbot said no more mowing of the clover, so they allowed all our clover on the abbey grounds to grow. So I know that did help a lot. So normally we don't have a lot of clover, but I know that's in the honey this year. It's in there for sure. Hello, Karan. Michael Harris. I did get your note, Michael. Thank you very much. Saint Rita is she's not one of the patron saints of beekeepers, but I have a fondness in my heart for Saint Rita because as a kid growing up, we had a St. Rita's in Harahan that I used to go. So thank you so much for that card, Michael. Thank you very much. Christina 983. Hey, Mr. Ed, greetings from the Netherlands. All right. Have you seen a pattern to the abundance and famine year to year, or is it random? I'm saying it's always random. It's random. The pattern, nah, I don't believe in pattern. It's that's just me. That's just my thoughts. Have a good day to you too, Ms. Funky. Thank you so much for your boyfriends and your thumbs up, and thank you for joining me. Zane's Ziggy's Bees. Why? That's why 80% of new keepers quit in the first year. That's right. That's why so many. It's disheartening that when you incur obstacles, difficulties, and especially if you don't get any honey, it's like, man, I ain't doing this. But for the ones that are in it for the love of bees, you're in it. That's all. David L. Love your praise Jesus moments. Always fun to watch your videos. Thank you, David. Carol L. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. We're down to 6 minutes, 318. So we've gotten our goal. Yeah, it's 318. It's like I want for the honey. I figure I need 300 gallons of honey each year to put in the gift shop to make it all year round. So we're gonna 320. So that's awesome. What an awesome morning. Again, I want to thank everybody who's spent their 4th of July with me this morning. Uh, I know everybody has things to do, and I'm so appreciative and grateful that you all give me so much. Um, I know you say that I do for you, but for me, it's such a privilege to come into your homes, to your TVs, to your phones, to share time with you. When in truth, our time is it's really the only thing that we can call our own. That and our sin. It's the only thing that we can call our own, and what we do with it, how we spend it. It's very important. So I'm honored that you spend your time watching what I do. It's such an honor that you bestow on me. So thank you very much. Thank you to all who have subscribed to my channel. It's over 137,000 now. I can't get over that. 137,000. Thank you for all the new subscribers, old subscribers, people who have been watching my channel for year after year after year and continue to keep watching it. It's just so gratifying to see all that and heartwarming for me. So thank you all very much. Today, I had the special thanks for all the super chats, especially to Lee and Bob for their super generous donations. But to all of you all who have given a little bit of money, gee whiz, to me, thank you very much for that. Um, it's so humbling. Thank you very much. We still got 4 minutes, so let me see if anything else. How many? Don't you realize how much of a difference you make in that life? No, thank you very much. James Noel, thank you. Annette, love you too, Annette. Thank you. Bug Farmer, thanks for watching. Keep on watching. We'll be making more. That's right. So Steve, next time you come, you already know what to say. Look, Julio, he still doesn't know what to say. It's always a pleasure to watch you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for your blessings. I always say it's the best perk that I have for having a YouTube channel is receiving blessings. When people say, God bless me, I said, man, it's like such a wonderful thing. We all need blessings, and to receive them, man, what a great thing. Thank you all for your blessings as well. Marion Phillips, love you. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Jeremy, have a wonderful 4th. You too, Jeremy. Get some of them barbecue bees. You hear, brother? And everybody, enjoy your 4th of July. Enjoy your barbecue. Enjoy your families. And, remember really what our day is. That this is the day that our country gained its independence, claimed its independence. And let's use that freedom for the best thing it's for. And one of the readings that I read this morning, it was interesting how they termed the word freedom. Freedom isn't so much a something that a privilege given to you, but it's rather it's an opportunity for you to give to others. That freedom allows us to allow others to be free and for us to use that freedom for that purpose, which is the design of freedom. Man, what a great quality. So thanks for watching. Keep on watching. I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Ed, thank you, Jesus. We're out here until the next video. Bye, everybody. Thank you very, very much. God bless.